Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle, and I feel like doing some power rankings. Why? I just feel like it. So, first of all, I know the season's not actually over, but, I don't, honestly, whoever wins the championship is not going to change the way I do this, because right now I'm not actually doing, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just kind of doing, overall performance, and I'm going to just split them into a few different categories. In the first category, teams that I think aren't making the playoffs and are probably going to be in the lottery. And honestly, this is the smallest category. It's weird, but the league, the longer it lasts, the stronger they keep getting. And it feels like almost every team in the league is just possible. I won't say championship contenders, but just about every team in the league I could consider a playoff contender if blah blah blah, So the two teams that I'm putting in I really can't expect them to get into the playoffs at all. The Dallas Wings and the New York Liberty. Now the Liberty, they're a weird case because for me it's one of those. I don't necessarily know for sure what's wrong with them, and if I don't know what's wrong with them, I can't fix it. But there's only one really obvious answer that we can all point to, and I don't want to say it out loud. I don't. You know what it is. We all know what it is. I'd rather not say it out loud if I don't have to. And so... But yeah, there's one very obvious thing, and I can't say for sure that if you change that alone will make them a 20-win team, because half of it is that this league is a tough one. There are a lot of super strong teams that keep getting stronger and stronger, while the Liberty, these past, 2 years now, they've just kind of stayed the course, and because of that, they fell behind. That's kind of league this is. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And I honestly just, I'm looked at some of the names that should be coming out of college this year, and I honestly just don't think, there are very few rookies that I think they'll make the difference. They'll be the reason New York suddenly goes from worst to first. Honestly, unless you do get the next Maya Moore, the next Candace Parker, the next Diana Taurasi, I feel like New York, there's only one change that they made, which dropped them from a 20-win season to 20 loss seasons. And I think, just out of respect, I'm not going to say it out loud, but, that might be the one change they need to make again. And with Dallas, injuries have definitely been a part of it, but I think at the end of the day, even when they had Liz Cambage, they barely managed to inch their way into the playoffs. And Liz Cambage, when she's at her best, was one of the most dominant players in the league. So, so with Dallas, it's one of those we kind of have to wait and see. We've definitely seen a lot out of Enrique. Skylar, she should be back next year. And Azare, I know injuries have affected her, but she's probably the best candidate for completing that big three. No offense to Isabella Harrison or Glory Johnson, they're both great, but I see them as solid all-around players. I don't see them as MVP caliber playmakers, and that's kind of what they need. It's especially to compete in this league. It's getting so stacked with talent. And so for them, I think with Dallas, the biggest thing is how well do they develop from last year to this year? That's the biggest question. Are all of their young superstars that they've been training up ready for the spotlight? Are we gonna see Azare really develop? Is Enrique, is she gonna continue to be the player that we saw at the end of the season, where she was just getting 20 points every single game? Because if she and Sky Diggity are both handling their business, Dallas is going to be a scary team. But it's just, for me, do they have that bit? I don't think a big two is really going to be able to make a championship push for this team. I think they need that third. So the biggest question right now is, for me, Is Azrae going to step up, or is he going to prove me wrong and she going to be the one? Not to mention, like, the bench should be greatly improved next year, too, especially, like, Mariah Jefferson coming back and stuff. And, just, having people like Skylar return, that alone adds depth because now people who were starters go back to their spot on the bench where they're supposed to be. But, that's the thing. There's a lot of conjecture. It's just, there's so much up in the air. But anyways, we'll move on to the teams that, do I think they could make the playoffs? Yeah. Would I be, it's like, I wouldn't be shocked if they did. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't. And those teams I have chosen, the Atlanta Dream, the Indiana Fever, the Minnesota Lynx, and the Phoenix Mercury. Now, here's the deal. Phoenix is a team that the bench has always been an issue, but them 100% healthy, and when they're doing the damn thing, when they're playing defense, when they're making shots, they can play on par with just about anyone. So if they bring back their whole roster, and not only do they stay healthy and they're playing up to the level that we know they are, but that maybe also they finally get some bench help, get some production from there, then this team does have a championship run in them. It's just, at this point in time, I have trouble expecting that out of them. Possible? Yes. Do I expect it? I've got them on the lower end. And Atlanta, I think between winning and losing, at this point, it's easier to expect them to lose because that's what they did this year. But Angel McCoughtry was out, and it was year 2 for Nikki as a head coach. Even like, you've seen a lot of coaches get those sophomore slumps. And so I think there's a chance they could have a good bounce-back year next season, especially if people start sleeping on them because they aren't expecting much from them. So, like, it's a tough league. It's hard to fill. It's hard to guarantee playoffs for anyone. But I think Angel coming back gives them a huge boost both offensively and defensively. It should make the job easier for all the players around her. And like I said, I think they're in for a bounce-back year. I think this year it was a disappointment, but I feel like it was the exception, not the rule. We'll see, though. We'll see. Because they've had one incredibly great year where they shocked everyone, and then they followed that up with an incredibly bad year where they shocked everyone. So, next year might fall somewhere in the middle of that. We'll see what happens. I don't know for sure which direction this franchise is headed in. But Minnesota, I feel like that franchise has been heading in a downward direction for a while. That being said, Maya Moore, as far as I'm aware, she still plans to return next year. And that will be a devastating front court, Maya Moore and Nafisa Collier together. Not to mention, the development of Odyssey Sims, D-Rob. And I don't know if Simone is still planning to stay, but I'm operating under the assumption that Simone and Fowles, that they're both going to be back. The most important thing about Minnesota, even though I wouldn't be shocked to see them out of the playoffs, I would be more shocked to see them out than I would be to see them in, for the mere fact that Cheryl Reeves is still there, and she has built a culture of winning in that city. So yeah, not just the fact that you have Maya Moore, who just doesn't know how to lose, but you've got Cheryl Reeves, who, like I said, you can't underestimate the value of culture. She's built, a strong foundation of success. And then I said the Fever, right? Well, this is a team that I think, if I had to say one or the other, I'd expect them not to make the playoffs, just for the mere fact that while they are still so young, there's still so much developing, there's still so much we're unsure about, and now they don't have their head coach. And never underestimate the value of consistency, just being able to have the same coach in the building year after year after year. And like I said with Minnesota, being able to build that culture so that everyone comes in here knowing exactly what to expect. That being said, there is a lot of talent on this Fever team, which is why I put them into this level, because Tierra McCown is developing very well, and I think at her peak, she will be able to compete on the same level as the Sylvia Fowles, the Brittany Griners, the Liz Cambazias, and I think she could potentially put up MVP numbers. Not to mention the continued development of young players like Wheeler and what was her name? The Canadian. I'm Notre Dame. I'm forgetting her name, but you know who I'm talking. Oh, Chanwa. And Kelsey Mitchell, she kind of took a step back this year. But once again, we talked about sophomore slump. It happens with coaches and players. I think she struggled a bit, but I still think there's room to grow. And I think she will continue to grow, and she's gonna take this year as a learning experience and come back better next season. And they should be getting Victoria Vivians back as well. I think this team, they may not be making a giant leap forward, but they're still slowly trending up. And the big question is, who's in charge next year, because that might change my opinion depending on who they grab. But overall, I'd say yeah. I would not be shocked to see them get in, but I'd still be more shocked to see them get in than I would be to see them miss. And then the others, you already know what it is. The rest of the teams: Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun, Vegas Aces, Los Angeles Sparks, Seattle Storm, Washington Mystics. All 6 of those teams were in the playoffs this year, and I expect all 6 of them to be in the playoffs next year. Washington, Mike Thibault, I always expect him to make the playoffs. Elena Della Donna, I always expect her to make the playoffs. And they look like they have a chance to potentially win a championship already this year. So, that team injury would be the biggest concern. As long as they're healthy, they're good. Same with the Seattle Storm. You hope for them to get Breanna Stewart back, and that alone. I mean, Breanna Stewart's basically been an MVP candidate since she first started playing as a rookie. So her coming back healthier, better than ever. This team, and especially now that they know what they've got with, why did I forget her name? Defensive Player of the Year winner. It's 1 a.m. Oh, it's only midnight. But either way, my brain's not working like it's supposed to. I apologize, but you know who I'm talking about. You've seen some of these players develop over there without the superstars, and now they're going back to reduced roles, but that doesn't necessarily mean a reduced impact. And that, honestly, Jordan Canada's developed well enough that I'd wonder, would there be a point guard controversy up there? Because much as we all love and respect Sue Bird, she is nearing 40. And there's just questions have to be asked, especially since Jordan Canada was one of the league leaders in steals. And as the season went on, she got better and better at getting all of the assists and not getting those turnovers. Not to mention the youth, the energy to be able to play 40 minutes a game for 30 games a year. Now, I don't expect them to play her that much, but she's slightly more capable of pulling that off if they did ask that of her. So, I mean, we'll see. I might be the only one who thinks that way, but I think that it's a conversation to be had. And then, of course, you got, who else did I say? LA. Long as you got Candace Parker, you got yourself a championship bid. You're in the fight, if nothing else. And Nneka and Chiney, her career's had some up and downs, but she's still a talented player. And, once again, the effects of just chemistry, knowing each other. They had some injuries this year, which means they got to see a little bit out of some of these other players. Derek Fisher's had a chance to play with this roster a little bit. And I think next year they'll come back even more focused and ready, which is kind of scary to think about. The Aces, we already said that a lot of people thought they had a chance to win the championship this year, which they almost not knocked out of the playoffs except for a really stupid but incredibly lucky shot. But yeah, this is a team that, once again, same as the Sparks, the talent is obviously there, and now they've had a chance to get used to playing each other and learn where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do. And then, of course, you got the Chicago Sky and Connecticut Sun. Sky surprised a few people this year. Not me, though. I kind of expected it. And I wish Courtney Vandersloot would get a lot more credit for what she's done. And honestly, they played very well. And now, once again, they've got that experience. They've got some more chemistry. Next year, they should come back even better. And this is the main reason why I don't want to do traditional power rankings 1, 2, 3, 4, just because it's hard to place anyone in any specific spot and like, oh, you definitely belong here. You know, because like I haven't even mentioned the Connecticut Sun yet, and they're currently up 2-0 in the playoffs with a chance to potentially go to the finals next year. Tomorrow, because the game's going to be on tomorrow, and I will watch both of them. I haven't had much of a chance. Work has been so slow lately, and that I started to wonder if the place might shut down. But just as playoffs start, suddenly, oh, we're so busy that not only do I not get days off anymore, but I'm there till midnight every single night. So the only game I actually got to see from the first round was, so far in the playoffs, I've only watched Vegas versus Chicago, which I'm so glad I did. That was an amazing game, and from what I'm told, easily the best of any game that have been played so far. But I'm excited to be able to watch it tomorrow, and of course I'm excited to be able to keep watching the WNBA, hopefully for years and years to come. And also I need to make an announcement. Well, this is an announcement to announce an announcement. If you haven't subscribed already, feel free to subscribe to my channel, hit that bell, because in October I will be making an announcement for the sale of my book. It is my autobiography, Everything is Impossible. It's done, and we're just finalizing a few things. They're mailing me a physical proof right now, and then we're gonna put it all up in the Amazon. We're gonna put it up on the store. I know for sure Amazon and the A&A bookstore, and we're gonna look into some other stuff. But yeah, for right now, the plan is in October, the beginning of October, I will announce a pre-sale, and sometime like the week, maybe like the Monday before Halloween, it'll go up, available for pre-sale for like $4. So early birds, you can get it a little cheaper, and I encourage you to buy multiple copies for that reason alone. I mean, for me right now, I'm more concerned about sales than money. I need the numbers first. Then like the Monday before Thanksgiving, it officially goes on sale. So those who pre-ordered, your copies will get sent to you automatically. And anyone who hasn't ordered yet, well, guess what? The price just doubled to $8. So But we're gonna have it half off for a Christmas sale, and then come January, it'll be $16 for now until the day I die, or maybe until like we sell 1 million copies, and then I'll bump the price up again to 20. But yeah, that's about to happen. So stay tuned for that announcement. That's probably the only other video I'll upload to this channel this year. Just announcing the books, announcing the pre-sale, and then announcing the official sale. And then, of course, I'll see you next year for another all-new season of the WNBA, which looks to be really exciting because, honestly, even though I said it's hard to believe in New York right now, Dallas really is the only team that, like, I would be shocked as hell to see them win a championship. Every other team, like, they definitely have the pieces in place, and it's just a matter of, like, fine-tuning and refining a couple of things here and there. But yeah, it's been a fun season. What part I did get to enjoy, and then the playoffs, hopefully I get to see slightly more of it. We'll see what's happening. I'm upset about work getting busy because I don't have time to sit here and watch TV every single night, but I'm also happy that I'm finally earning money again because my bank account's been suffering lately. I'm talking too much. Anyways, thanks for your time here. This has been the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle, and until the next time I see you, which will most likely be October, have a great month.